Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. Last time, we played Fire Emblem. After all, you ain't playing Fire Emblem unless a 90% chance fails half the time. Pokemon Outbreak, Route 7. Nope, still not the one that I want. This time, we've been given orders from N to make it to Dragonspiral Tower near Icirrus City. I'm holding left and cannot go past this guy. What is this? Fine, I'll let go of the run button like some peasant. That's really funny though that the cooldown and being able to move after bonking is the exact same duration as what it takes for him to come back. The results of the test showed that 4,934 people can be on the Tubeline bridge at once. That's Arceus' Pokedex number times 10 plus 4. I'm such a nerd. Welcome everybody to Tubeline Bridge, a location that I've always personally really liked. It's site of a pretty iconic location. Loud, it's way too noisy. It's all the trains, they never stop. When the train runs below, it's unbearably noisy. To be more specific, the noise level is about 120 decibels. It's as if an engine of a plane is in top gear. So loud. If we just had a Pokemon with a soundproof ability, we can make all the noise go away. Are you a side quest? Now that Poison Barb Lady was revealed to be one, I'm a little curious. I was saying that this is a location of a pretty iconic Pokemon moment. If you played the first game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I checked for a Pokemon with soundproof and didn't have any, so I checked a wiki to see if she gives you an item, and nope. So I do not care. We're going onward. You, come back here. Come back. I'll catch you sooner or later. When I was running around trying to outrun the trains, I got overheated. Phew. Anyway, please take this. TM43 Flame Charge, a physical fire type move that raises the user's speed. A move that I tend to use a lot when playing the Unova games. Just feels like a lot of decent Pokemon have access to it. You get it at pretty low levels, and raising your speed while doing damage is always just a nice thing to do whenever the foe is low on HP and you want to set up for the next one. Pignati can learn it, and speed is admittedly a weak point of his. Looking at his moveset, maybe I'll go... Maybe I'll get rid of Wild Charge for that. It's nice having an option for water Pokemon, but this already deals with flying, and the problem is just that a lot of flying Pokemon are already kind of fast, and a lot of water types are at least faster than Pignati is, so I'll give this a try for a little while and just kind of see how it goes. I've been experimenting a lot more with my moveset instead of just going, nah, I want to keep my existing moves like I usually do, and I think that's only a good thing. It's nice to mix things up, try out new moves, see if anything works out better than you expect. This Tubeline Bridge was #1 in the bridge rankings in Unova. That means it's the sturdiest. I was about to say, I didn't know what you meant by ranking of bridges. I was like, is there like a top Billboard charts for the most voted for bridge or something? We were riding our motorbikes to our heart's content. We believed we could ride forever and ever. Yes, it's an infinite, limitless breakneck road. With a breakneck team, Black Empoleon. Back when I had a one-on-one battle with Blair. That was our golden age. It was an age of gold. You don't say. And that's all there is to this bridge. We haven't crossed every bridge in Unova. We got one left to go. A giant steel bridge towering over the road ahead. Just looking at this model makes Tubeline Bridge fills me with energy. Speaking of energy, I'll give you this. Energy powder! If you ever want to make your Pokemon hate you. Just be careful, it's really bitter, so it might make your Pokemon unhappy. For someone like me who is checking the rail lines all around the world, Anvil Town, where you can look at various trains, gets pretty high marks. Hey, you know about that place. Watch it. People use railway fan as a catch-all term, but there are many types of railway fans. Yeah, I don't discriminate. There are riding fans, detraining fans, station fans, train car fans, scheduling table fans, picture-taking fans, recording fans, and more. Don't go thinking they're all the same. Detraining fans, would that mean that you hate being on the train, yet you call yourself a rail enthusiast because you just love getting off of the train so much? That's right. I find rocks and I give them to people. That's my simple life. You rock. Here, I'll give you a heat rock I found this afternoon. You're hot. Yeah. If you like rocks, come back tomorrow. Roll in a different time if possible. I'll be here. I promise. I love you, lady. Thank you for being you so much. I want to take this. She gives different items based on the time of the day, as she said. If you go between 5 a.m. and 9:59 a.m., it's a damp rock, raising the number of turns that rain stays in effect. We got the heat rock, raising the turns that sun is in effect at 10 a.m. through 4:59 p.m. Oh, I didn't think you were a trainer. You think my footsteps in the rain are cute? How nice. The Smooth Rock raises the number of turns of a... Whoa, we're getting a... Dang, I'm just getting surprised here. Getting a rotation battle. Smooth Rock raises the number of turns of a Sandstorm. That one's pretty good. And it's at 5 p.m. through 7:59 p.m. And then all remaining nighttime hours, 8 p.m. to 4:59 a.m. is the Icy Rock raising the turns of hail, like you care at all. We're about to see all of these cast forms transform. Oh, huh. You know, that's pretty neat. I make fun of cast form a lot because it's just such a bad Pokemon, but I like that how in a rotation battle, it doesn't transform until it's rotated in. This means that it's going to become a water type every single time, but if you had methods of changing the weather, you could end up with something of an army of cast forms that do all sorts of unpredictable things. This is a fun strategy. I find it highly doubtful that you'll ever have a chance to even use a weather changing move with McFly on the case, but I still commend you for being original. And that all is. And then your last one, it's just gonna turn into a dewdrop. Has a whole bunch more balls below it than it does by default. Down you go. McFly gets to level 61. Anything for Aiden? Not quite. You are so strong. Too strong to be cute. Hey, you've clearly never played Wind Waker. According to footstep fortune telling, those whose footprints make a splish and a splosh are trainers that like the Pokemon like. Trainer tips. Press select to change the location of items in the bag. Poink! Can't do it for the free space though, and that's sadly kind of the area that I'd like to do it the most in. Is that a Pokedex? I'd love it if you would show me lots of different kinds of Pokemon. Speaking of lots of different kinds of Pokemon, we have new encounters out here on Route 8, believe it or not. Yeah, been a while, hasn't it? We're gonna be starting this off with Stunfisk. Finally, right? There was never a single time to encounter a Stunfisk until now. Did you notice? I would wager probably not. An electric farting potato that got run over by a steamroller is as disappointing as it sounds, given the weight anyway. I feel like this would be decent if it was just available sooner, but it's not. It suffers from the special ground, it suffers from special ground moves just feeling kind of weak, a problem I am all too familiar with raising a flag on. Generally, if it gets a physical move, it's also kind of weak due to electric not having a lot of support in that department either. It's the worst of both worlds, sadly. And most everything else it learns has got some problem like bad accuracy for just not being that powerful. It'll take a punch to the face, sure, but it'll just sit there and not do much else once that's over. Oh, and Limber, please, don't make me laugh. It's immunity to body slam secondary effect. We're electric and ground, with immunity to paralysis as our ability. Was this a joke? I mean, I guess. Just look at his face. And our other new Pokemon is Seismitoad. A water ground type is easy to slot into a roster, and I think you could do a lot worse than a Seismitoad for a last second team edition. Water is reliable, hits a lot of stuff for good damage. We're coming up on being able to get Earthquake pretty soon. Can only be good news for me. And yeah, I think it's all around a good Pokemon. Oh, Pignati wants to learn Flare Blitz. So that's 120 power. I take Rico, it's 100% accurate, which is nice. I don't like how we've had a lot of, oh, this is 80% accurate. Okay, never mind. It was even less accurate than I thought. Shoot. Heat Crash. I wanna look into how Heat Crash works really quick. Heat Crash maxes out at 120 power. Flare Blitz is objectively better as long as we don't mind the recoil damage, and because that can get me into Blaze, I don't mind. Using my main attack to do that sounds perfecto. I'm gonna go for a dig right here. Paralyze. I even outspeed it too. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stay paralyzed. I don't care if it's stupid and I gotta be not paralyzed next turn. I'm just gonna do. Come on, Jade. Come on, Jade. You're not even taking any damage. It's raining. I'm beyond not scared of this thing. Go for it. These trainers are not that bad, actually. I was a little worried with having to fight a level 70 trainer before anything told us to go here. Yeah, it's been pretty good. I never seen a Pokemon like that. I wonder if I meet a new Pokemon if I went to the swamp. I'm gonna wager, no you won't. Fun little fact about Stunfisk is that it's one Pokemon that we know about an early design for. It was originally gonna be a blue goosefish that was water electric type. The change was made due to game balances. They don't want there being too many Pokemon at the same time. Triple battle! Cast form, Jolteon, and Ludicolo. Aiden in the middle sounds like an absolutely terrible move. Okay, so Cast Form transforms in the ability. Ludicolo definitely has Rain Dish. And I'm willing to bet that Jolteon knows Thunder, and that's the theme of this team, is that all of them benefit from rain in some way. I'll go for the brick on Jolteon right there. Aiden will swap out for No, yeah, we'll swap out for Jade. I was thinking maybe swapping out for McFly, but McFly was already on the field, and then I realized it like a second later after I was like, well, no. And then we'll just Thunder Punch that irrelevant cast form out of existence so that it's of no concern. Weather Ball's a good move. If that's probably about the only way that I would ever fear a cast form is if weather is already going. Mega Drain, made a good call. Thunder, going for Pignati. You outpredicted me, nice. The AI's been pretty smart, I gotta say. I've been kind of impressed by the sorts of things that it's called, how it's, you know, conserved its PP in moments where it doesn't make sense to use a low PP move on me. We've been seeing a lot of that, even in the fight with N, even some regular trainers too. Brick. Almost got it. We'll do that to that. I don't suppose Draco Meteor, no. Draco Meteor can definitely not do that. I'll go for it on Ludicolo, and then McFly, you went first last turn, so we'll just Ice Punch that Jolteon. Hydro Pump! It was nice knowing you, buddy. He looks so smug over there. Thunder does not affect Jade, good. And I guess he didn't go first last time around. My memory's going these days. Jade gets that, not quite a level up. Draco Meteor! Not quite enough. And you probably have Swift Swim if you were going first, actually, not Rain Dish. Well, you've been at full health, so I've been able to see if you have Rain Dish or not. I'll go Aiden. There's no way in hell that this thing is ever going to beat us. We're fine. Do Ice Beam. I'll Dragon Claw. I always picture the way that Alon in the anime would do that, where he would just like do like a clawing motion every time he'd order Charizard to use Dragon Claw. Watch the Mega Evolution special if you haven't, it's excellent. Ties into the main story of the X and Y anime, which I consider a pretty high point as well, so you know, if you like that, you can check out the X and Y anime while you're at it and get even more insight into what's going on. It's a great time. Only thing I don't like about it is that it's a little bit cumbersome to figure out which episodes you're supposed to watch each one in between and all that, because it's one of those that's ongoing at the same time. Whee! Spin around my parasol and send them water droplets your way. How dare you. Gotta throw on my dowsing mech on. I just realized I hadn't yet. Yep, good timing. It's there. Max Repel. Here is probably my least favorite location. It's the Moor of Icirrus. It has no new encounters. There's nothing significant about it at all. There's an old legend about this place. Long ago, when a war between people started an intense fire in this forest, a single young Pokemon was separated from its parent. Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion teamed up to take care of this Pokemon. I wonder what that young Pokemon grew up to be like. I'll bring Keldeo to talk to this guy just to see if he does anything, but yes, this is the forest where there was that great fire that Terrakion, Cobalion, and Virizion teamed up to stop that we've heard about in Legends. So it's a place of significance in lore, but there's just nothing here. It's just a big square empty. Okay, it's got a rare candy in it. I guess I can't say that it has no reason to exist now that it has that, but it's just not all that interesting. There's just a bunch of items in a big square open field There's a couple of trainers, I suppose, if you're really so inclined. There's no new encounters here whatsoever. It's identical encounters to what we had in Route 8. It really is just Moor of Icirrus, nothing else to it than that. That's everything over to the right. So over on the left is a pointless boulder that I don't need to put. Nah, I do need to push this in to get the stuff at least. I was gonna say that it's not useful to me anymore because I don't need a medal. I can't get a medal from pushing stuff into holes anymore. I guess not all of life is medals, even I have to admit. TM84 Poison Jab is a physical poison type move. Poison's not exactly the strongest attacking type. If you got any other method of dealing with grass types, it's just factually better, so I wouldn't even really use that, speaking as a fan of poison. I like poison for its defense, not for its offense. I'm sorry. In other games, it's good for offense, but this is not one of them. Big Mushroom. All right, I'm gonna be blunt. I need to level up. We've been having some trouble lately. I've been kind of skipping over trainers out of just wanting us to get to the important stuff, as we're not really doing as much on these routes anymore compared to how it used to be and all that. They are just kind of a means to an end, and we have a lot of different storylines all going on at the same time right now. There's not even a lot of, we're not even encountering a lot of new Pokemon that I could talk about while we're doing all these battles, so I'm just gonna battle all the trainers in the Moor of Icirrus, clear out this unremarkable place, and I'll show you any highlights that might happen along the way. This is a good battle to showcase this. This is a time where I wouldn't go for the Shell Smash. Excelgor can't hit all that hard in the grand scheme of things. I got my sturdy ability, special offense down. No! Well, okay, it was a good example of that. My point is that Excelgor has breakneck speed that you're just simply not going to be able to outpace a lot of the time. Even with +2 speed under my belt, I wouldn't expect Lasagna to be able to pull that off. So that's a case where I would just go for the attack rather than the Shell Smash. It's seldom that that situation comes up, but this is a case where her leading with that makes Shell Smash a pretty piss poor move. Lasagna got to level 59. This ranger gives a Lumberry on defeat. That heals any status at all and is not one of the easier berries to obtain. Way to go. Pignotti gets to level 63, one more to my favorite number. And we get another Lumberry. This little guy knew Fissure and he tried that trick on me and I had sturdy. I've never seen that interaction in a Gen 5 game before. That's funny. Can I just say that pop-up, that zoom, every time an ability activates, that is awesome game design right there. I really gotta praise that. It feels so powerful, it feels like, yeah, I got him good, and all at the same time, it teaches the player what abilities do by example with pure visuals without needing to over-explain every little thing. It's great. I love that. I really gotta praise that as one of the more underrated aspects of Gen 5. We'll do the Shadow Claw on this Fisherman's Stunfisk. Still not enough to take you out. It's fine though. It's fine. It's fine. I got my stuff. I got my sturdy. I got that. Sturdy coming in handy 2 separate times. Oh. I was outsmarted by a Barboach. I've yet to use Waterfall in a fight, and I still know it. So I'll finish you off with that. Look pretty cool. Thank you for dying. McFly gets to level 62 and wants to learn Giga Impact. No. I lost! It's the end! End of the line. Hey there, Pokemon trainer. The hip waiters? Oh, you don't have a fishing rod. Maybe I'll go invite Professor Juniper into Bematan instead. Good hint, we have another subplot. You wanted to see what kind of Pokemon Keldea grew up to be? Well, I got good news. I brought you the version after puberty. Ooh, that Pokemon, it couldn't be. A bright red mane and a lush tail, and it even has a horn more magnificent than in the old legend. Long ago, when a war between people started, an intense fire in this forest, a single young Pokemon was separated from its parents. Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion teamed up to take care of this Pokemon. The three acted as its parents and taught it knowledge and the moves it needed to survive. The young Pokemon grew rapidly, and its power developed power that surpassed its three caretakers. However, One day, that Pokemon disappeared from the forest. No one knows why, but when I think about it, young ones are always reckless and drawn to adventure. That's all you have to say to me? Man, I thought you'd give me like a Mystic Water something that would help out Keldeo. I thought it would just tell me a story from when you were young. Like 300 years ago. Okay, well, we'll go over this way. I want to mention that in the wintertime, this place becomes one giant ice sliding puzzle. It's a location that changes quite a lot in the winter, actually. Moor of Icirrus can be hard to get around, as there's some areas where you need to surf and you can't get over them without, with everything being frozen, because it's impossible to slide around. Learned that one the hard way. Speaking of learning the hard way, I knew it. Rare candy! We're gonna be rolling in those level ups. I'm saving my rare candies as late as I possibly can, because higher levels are more experience points to earn and thus get harder because you run out of higher level opponents to get them easily. Well, with that, welcome to Icirrus City. A surprisingly kind of buggy city, if I'm being real. I'll explain why a little bit later, but this place is a little bit weird in how they made it. For now, that's a Cubchoo over there. That's kind of cute. I didn't know that there was a Cubchoo in this Pokemon Center. I have several black belts, so I'll give you one. Didn't go so well teaching him martial arts, did it? So the black belt, right? When you have Pokemon hold it, fighting type moves are powered up. These were gonna be made by my grandma. She used to be a battle girl. Runs in the family. Our top clerk in this new town that we've, no, it's the bottom clerk. Like I said, my memory's really going with age. We get Dusk Ball, Timer Ball, and Quick Ball. Nothing we haven't seen before, a lot of mail. Feels weird to be having new towns with new clerks. Ores that I adore. This is where you should laugh. Anyway, I will pay you well for rare ores. And not just ores, stones, gems, shards, anything mineral. I love it all. Don't you have an adorable ore that shakes me to my core? I sure do. I've been saving all of this stuff up all of this time because I knew that one day I'd come across an ore maniac. How about a star piece? What would you give me for that? I do adore ores, 9,800 per, and I got 11 of them. If you ever need money, this is where you go. Stardust? 2,000. Rare bone? Oh. I mean, it's kind of ore-like. It just grows in a skin instead of growing in a rock, you know? I got a lot of those. What about Pearl? Pearl is 1,400, and those are easy to come by. They respawn all over Undella Bay all the time. Odd Keystone? 3,000. Nugget. Normally 5,000, but for us, 10,000. Now for the biggins. I got 22 big pearls, and each of those is worth 7,500. Now. I got two of them. I got two big nuggets in my pants. 30,000. Selling both of those even if I don't need the money right away. Good stuff, good stuff. All right, so that is gonna be it for now that we've reached Icirrus City. Next time on Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, we're gonna be exploring all that Icirrus City is. See you guys then.